So the other day I looked up the strangest basketball arena in the entire country, and this place sits on top of that list. Welcome to the Corn Palace, or as the locals call it, the world's only famous corn palace. See, this place is one giant corn museum in the middle of South Dakota, but deep within its giant maze is a college basketball arena that turns into a convenience store during the off season.
But what the hell, boy?
Now, I know all of this sounds insane, but Dakota Wesleyan University actually calls this place home, and the venue itself has hosted some of the largest basketball events in the state's history. So today, I'm going to find out how a corn museum became a basketball mecca and what really is going on inside the Corn Palace. I feel weird. There's kids watching. So with that, we're going to start our tour right here with the head coach of Dakota Wesleyan, Kevin Williamson, to try and finally get some answers.
This place is crazy, bro. Holy cow. Talk about corn.
I'm from 10 miles from here, so I mean, I grew up right here. I mean, like, I played plenty of games. I punched my ticket to state in this exact gymnasium, so I mean, like, hear from a lot of people. Like, there's nothing better than the Corn Palace. Playing here on a Friday, Saturday night, like, for anything, man. They pack it. It doesn't matter if they know you or not, they're here.
Seems like the place to be. I think we hit the jackpot here. Awesome. Well, where do you guys start? What do we see first?
Now, before we get into the actual tour, let me catch you up to speed on what this place really is. See, the Corn Palace here was built in the 1920s as a place to celebrate the new harvest for farmers. Townsfolk would gather here under this roof to honor the new season of corn rolling in. But as you can tell, it has quickly evolved into so much more. Rodeos, concerts, festivals, this place has seen it all. But things have changed. Now it acts as one of the biggest tourist destinations in the state behind old Mount Rushmore. I mean, there's like hundreds of billboards on the side of the highway advertising this place's gift shop. It seems like just a big tourist trap. So I want to know, how did elite basketball come to play at the Palace? And why do kids like Wyatt here, who approached us as we walked in, have so much love and fascination for this court? Let's check in with Coach Williamson and see if we can get some answers.
Around the setting of it, you have the history of the Corn Palace. So around the outside, as you're getting the muralization and all that, you're seeing the history of South Dakota. And so, yeah, as we're going through it, you know, you can kind of see the ages are starting to get newer and newer. But this is, you know, walkway. You can see people are pulling in, getting candy, getting souvenir popcorn, getting all the things that they come to the Corn Palace to see on their drive through South Dakota. It brings in 400,000 plus people per year. You can kind of go through the renovations of what's taken place. And then as we kind of turn and we're hitting the court, you're seeing what's happening next. And then we have bleachers that are back there, as you've seen in the photos and the stills. There's bleachers that pull forward. As you're looking around, as you've got the history of the state of South Dakota coming together.
Quick sidebar here, everything that you see on these walls in the arena and the entire outside of this building is entirely made out of corn. The outside actually changes murals every few years because birds and other wildlife get to it and eat it because it's actually corn. Right now, NBA legend Mike Miller is actually on the outside of this building along with a few other iconic figures in the community because Mike Miller played all of his high school games at Mitchell High here in the Corn Palace. Fun fact. Now, the inside murals that you see, they never change, and they've always shown the history of the South Dakota region. Okay, back to Coach.
You have the Native American side over here, and you have the settler sides coming together, and there's muralizations, and they each mean something coming together, and in the middle they're in a handshake agreement with each other of how the state will move forward. And so that's what the centerpiece in the middle is. And each one of these has a very specific meaning in their diagram. We've got a locker room. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's check out the locker room.
Obviously,
everything is corn.
I said it's like a souvenir and convenience. It's got the convenience spot up front, and then you got all the souvenir stuff all around.
It's a basketball court in the regular season, convenience store in the off season.
Pretty crazy.
Now, after seeing the court and heading to the locker room, I still had so many questions. This place undoubtedly is so strange, but every person that I had seen walking around this building looked so excited to be here. I feel like there has to be something way bigger going on. So while we check out the locker room, Coach had put in a call for a few special guests to head on over.
Not too bad in here.
No, it's not bad for a small college locker room. Constantly getting little updates in here.
What's like the demographic of recruiting? Is everybody on the team like from the Dakota regions, or is it all over the country? Like how do you guys go for it?
A lot of it in the last 4 years have been pretty much all South Dakota players. The previous coach was able to get the majority of South Dakota kids to stay home and come on in here. I plan on, as I go forward, getting a lot of the South Dakota players that we want to get, but also being able to get in players from out of the regions and my networks where I've been before.
That's super cool. Is the Corn Palace on the pitch?
It's not just in the pitch, it is the pitch.
The whole pitch?
It's a bit, at the NAI level of basketball, very, very few arenas that are also filled arenas with fans that show up and pack it versus it being in an empty space. And I think we have that unique piece right there.
Coach isn't lying here. This place hosts both high school and college basketball games, and on average, they bring in over 3,000 people to each game. That is more than 183 Division I basketball teams. Fans actually go so crazy that they even show up hours early to save their seats front row, and I've been told that these aren't people that you want to mess with.
You throw in the history, it's a huge recruiting pitch. Kids want to come to it. They want to know more about it. Like you get on the phone, you show a picture, you go on a FaceTime, and you're in the front, you're walking through it, and there's a bunch of people in your arena in the middle of the summer. They're like, what is this? You're like, this is something pretty special. This is something unique. You're not going to find this at many other NAI programs, almost none.
This is the mecca of basketball in the Dakota region.
For this region, it has to be.
He's got it figured out to a T. I mean, like, this is everything. And what's even crazier is, like, Scott Morgan, for example, one of our All-Americans. I mean, if you want to talk about family, Steele Morgan right there, that's his uncle. So, I mean, like, that's how, like, families kind of tied into this program and, like, the Midwest basketball culture as a whole. I mean.
Ah, it's sweet, man. Yeah, the culture, I think that's what builds. That's what builds good teams, and that
there's a lot of pride in playing here.
Awesome. I guess we can go hit the next spot here.
As we were walking to meet with our special guest, I noticed that there was a group of kids outside in the back working on something near what looked like a barn.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm just bringing you out here because these are the guys out here that actually make the stocks as they're doing this. they're actually doing it. Like the kid in the black shirt, he's signed to go to Division II Augustana. He's a big time player.
So they just come out. Is this just volunteer?
No, they work for the city during the summer, and they're unshucking the corn and all that stuff, and they're doing that. And that's all the local high school community tries to get involved with doing this every summer. So kind of a unique deal, but they're just right there as they're pulling apart the corn to be able to use it for the design and the stalks and everything.
Turns out these are some of the best high school players in the state who have actually won championships in this building, and they love the Palace so much that they devote their entire summer to working on it. They were legitimately here shucking corn to put on the front of the building.
They're actually making like what goes on the outsides of the building over here, and it's just high school basketball players. That shows the culture of this place.
I think it's really fun playing here because you also know that you work here.
What are you guys doing? You want to start what you're doing?
So we tie these things, and then he'll cut them, and then they'll take it up front and hang it up there on the wall. It's every day, 7 to 3:30.
Yeah, you played like actual games in there?
Oh yeah.
What's the crowd like?
It's loud.
Loud?
It's loud. The student section's right behind the hoop, so it's kind of scary.
Sweet guys, I appreciate it.
This is Jacob Dobney. He's one of our players. I mean,
What's up, man? Cullen. Nice to meet you.
Senior, he's from here.
This is obviously one of the stranger ones that I've seen, but since I've been into it and talked to people so far, it seems like it's one of the cooler places to play that we've kind of been through so far. So you actually played here. What's it like inside on game day? Like, what's the crowd like? How's it get going in there?
For NAI standards, we get a pretty good crowd. Obviously, it's the world's only Corn Palace, so it's very unique, not only to this area, but to the country as well. Yeah, it's great atmosphere usually.
Sweet, man. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That shows you what a basketball enthused town we got here. They're all about it, right?
That's what I love.
No hockey in this state, so this is a basketball haven. And then in this community, as you can tell, this is a basketball culture here.
At this point, I was finally starting to get what all the hype was about. Every person that we've talked to them, this isn't just a strange venue in the middle of South Dakota. The Corn Palace is a spot where the community comes together. Now, our special guest may know that more than anyone, but before we talked to him, we were approached by a guy named Troy.
How's it going?
This is Cullen.
Nice to meet you.
Troy has been working at the Corn Palace for over 40 years. And actually, all the facts that I've dropped in this video came from our conversation. Troy knows this place inside and out and explained to us how much this place truly means to him. In fact, the Corn Palace gave him the greatest honor of his life.
I'm only the second person to grow up here in Mitchell High, graduate from Mitchell High School in Dakota Wesleyan, and my face is on the outside of the building for 2 years.
That's pretty cool.
After you work here about 39 years, and I've been a shrine clown since 2010, they surprised the heck out of me and put my face up on the side of the building. And
you did not know that was coming.
No, I did not. I'm out there, we're doing this little announcing gig, but when we were doing it, all of a sudden he says my name, and I'm like, what? And that's when I turned around and looked at the board that they have, that you'll see up in the front lobby, and I saw my picture. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that is great. Let's get that.
That's pretty cool.
No, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I come to work every day to a job I love. Matter of fact, my father passed away last week, so this is my first day back to work. And walked in and the kids go, Troy, it was really strange without you here. And I said, you guys don't know how much I missed you.
To Troy, this place represents more than just a harvest. He explained that basketball first started here in 1921 as just another way to build the community. And since then, basketball and the Corn Palace have been tied hand to hand in history. It's the people like Troy that truly make this place so special. But we still had one more person to talk to, our special guest, who happens to be one of the greatest players in Dakota Wesleyan history. And this guy, well, he had the final answer that helped me truly understand what this place is all about.
Yeah, so I'm Jason Spicer. I grew up in Sioux Falls, just 60 miles east of here. Spent a lot of time in this place in my 5 years in Mitchell playing. So this town's been good to me. You know, I was lucky enough, we went to 5 national tournaments. We played in the national championship my freshman year, and we had a lot of success. So we were good, and this Corn Palace was packed, and it was a lot of fun. So
what I could tell so far just being here is that this is kind of the heart of this city and really the basketball in South Dakota. Like, you know, it's just so cool to be able to come out and see that it's not just the venue, it's that the people inside and all the people who play with it are the ones that are making it so special outside of the Corn.
I mean, for how much it means to the people in this area, like we would have a game on a Saturday at, you know, say, I think we played at 2 o'clock, and we would have shoot around at 9 or 10 a.m. And like every row in the front here would be people that have come and put blankets over their spots because that is their spot. And as a player, like that's what you want. Yeah, there's, you know, corn murals, but also it's fun to play. The people care. If you stick around in town, or even if you're not from around here, you're welcome back with open arms. Just that's the kind of atmosphere you get playing here.
I appreciate you giving us a little insight into this incredible place, man.
I appreciate it.
This has been great.
Thanks for coming out.
As my time wrapped up here in the Corn Palace, I realized this is so much more than just a strange basketball venue. Yeah, it might be a gift shop in the off-season where I may have bought some really questionable things, but this place truly is the heart and soul of South Dakota basketball. So if you like this video, why don't you support the channel and click subscribe? Also, if you want to see your name right here in the next video, go down and comment Mr. Cobb below and come back for the next one. Oh, YouTube thinks you'll like this video too, so maybe go check that out. All right, peace.